to a New England governor who's helping lead the charge against the immigration and refugee ban enacted over the weekend. Rhode Island Governor Gina Raimondo has launched an online petition against what she calls, quote, President Trump's unconstitutional and un-American executive order implementing a Muslim ban. Right now, Rhode Island law enforcement does not share information on the immigration status of people they arrest unless there's an outstanding order of deportation. Since she took office, Raimondo's been pushing a plan that would give driver's licenses to undocumented immigrants, and more recently, she's championed a Sanders-esque education plan for higher education. Joining me now is Governor Gina Raimondo. Governor, it's great to have you here. Thanks so much.
Yeah, nice to be here.
What do you hope to achieve with this petition? What's the end game?
Get people engaged, make sure people understand what's going on, and send a message. I think when you go down a path of religious-based discrimination, that's a bad path, and I want the people of my state to stand up against that.
But it's a Democratic state with Democratic legislature, Democratic governor. Does Donald Trump care what Rhode Islanders have to say about this?
He should. We're Americans. We are Americans.
Yes, you are. That is correct. You also stood up on the sanctuary city thing. The Providence mayor, correct me if I'm wrong, who until today, I think, had said Providence was not a sanctuary city, now says it is a sanctuary city. You've also taken on this issue, even though the president has threatened federal dollars, which could mean a ton of dough to your state.
And
no?
I've drawn a distinction for myself from the Providence mayor. I have said I'm not willing to lose federal money over this.
What does that mean?
It
means you'll do what
means
Donald Trump said once done in terms of reporting things.
So here's what I've said. Here's what I've said. I don't think he can do that. I don't think that is legal, and I think it's fairly clear that a president cannot unilaterally, decree that. So what I have said is, let's take this a day at a time. Let's try not to become, let's be vigilant but not hysterical. That's a lot of money. It's $3 billion that flows into Rhode Island, and I do have to make sure, I have to be practical and make sure that my folks don't get hurt.
So, but let's assume that ultimately some lawyers who matter say it is constitutional, it is legal what he's proposing in terms of withholding these funds, or at least some federal funds. Does that mean you comply rather than lose the federal money?
We'll just see. It depends. This is all about the details. So we'll wait and see how it goes. But the mayor of Providence, for instance, has said, look, we'll give up our federal money. We are a sanctuary city. I'm not there yet.
Do you support him on that?
That's his decision. He's running the city. I get billions of dollars of federal money that the people of Rhode Island need, so I have to be practical.
Let me ask you the same question we asked Governor Baker yesterday on the radio. We've asked him month after month. Do you not fear retaliation from a guy who's generally seen as a fairly vengeful soul? I mean, even if you're taking a moderate stand on the sanctuary city thing, you're taking him on full throttle on this petition drive. You're obviously a big-time Democrat from a big-time Democratic state. You're one of the co-chairs of the Democratic National Convention, where the guy was eviscerated for 4 days. Do you not worry that you may cross a line that is true to your soul but is not true to your constituents in terms of damage potentially from the executive office in Washington?
Look, I do worry about it. I also believe he's the president of the United States. He's not campaigning anymore. I have to believe he's not that petty and to extract retaliation for governors that express their views.
Have you found him to be non-petty in the first 12 days in office, Governor?
We got to stay hopeful. He's the president now, and I think we got to let him govern a little bit here. And having said that, I can't get behind religious-based discrimination. So, and I think most of the people of Rhode Island can't either. So you can't ask us to stay silent on our views. And, we have freedom of expression on this one. And I don't think he'll take it out on the people of Rhode Island.
Unlike what's happened here in Massachusetts currently, our governor does not support driver's licenses for undocumented immigrants. You do in a big-time way. Why is he wrong? What's he not understand that you do?
Look, it's been shown. Here's my position. There are people in Rhode Island who are driving illegally. I think the federal government needs to get its act together and bring about immigration reform and provide a path to citizenship. In the meantime, there's no federal DMV. I got to keep the motorists in Rhode Island safe, and I think everyone ought to have a license and insurance. If my kids get in a car accident, get hit by a car, I want to know that driver had a license and insurance. So I'm not saying give them citizenship status or anything other than a license. They are driving. A lot of these people have lived in Rhode Island for 20 years. They go to school, they go to work. let's make them get a license.
Let's talk about something you do want to give the people of Rhode Island. As I said, Sanders' proposal. Andrew Cuomo proposed some free college with a cap in terms of income.
Yes.
You've proposed something much bolder. I think it'd be the first in the nation.
Yes.
Free community college,
Yes.
Any income, mostly low-income people I know, and at URI and I think at Rhode Island College, the last 2 years would be free. You have a choice. Is that a pipe dream kind of thing, or is this
Not
in
at
the
all.
real world?
Not at all. I put in a budget 2 weeks ago to the Assembly. It is affordable. I haven't put in any tax increases. It's a good investment. I want to become the first state in the country that provides 2 free years of college at our state institutions to every Rhode Island high school graduate. Here's the deal. 12th grade isn't enough anymore. When I was a kid, when you were a kid, you pick up your high school degree, you get a great job.
We didn't even have high school when I was a kid, but go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, when I was a kid,
Okay, fine.
you get your high school degree, you get a good job. The deal's changed. So let's update our promise to people.
How do you do this without a tax increase?
It's very affordable. It's very affordable. And here's the thing. We've been taking steps in Rhode Island to make this possible. We fixed our pension issues. We are controlling.
Took a lot of heat for that. That's when you were treasurer,
Took a lot
yes?
of heat for that. Took a lot of heat for it. Stand by the decision. Fix the system. Pensions are secure. And by the way, we can invest in free college. That's what we're doing.
Are you getting? Are you hearing from other Democratic governors? Because from Hillary Clinton to Bernie Sanders, I mean, there's a lot of talk about how this should be embraced by Democrats everywhere. Are you hearing from people, or is this like a one-and-done thing in Rhode Island?
I haven't heard from so many people yet. People of Rhode Island like it. I've heard from hundreds of Rhode Islanders saying, good for you. I'm up at night, awake, stressed. How am I going to pay for my kids? I was at dinner over the weekend with my husband, and a waitress said, you know, where were you when? I'm still working off my college loans. I never graduated. This is the problem, Jim. They go to school. They don't graduate because they drop out because they can't afford it. So I think we're going to radically increase our graduation rate, and it's a drop in the bucket in our budget, less than 1% of our budget.
Before you go, you know that Massachusetts has never elected a woman governor. I bet you're aware that we've never had a woman president, correct?
I got that.
What are special challenges, if any, that you face as a woman executive? Are there special challenges?
Oh, sure, I think so. By the way, I'm the first female in Rhode Island. There's only 4 women executives. I think that people are used to seeing men in positions of leadership. I feel that way, and we're not quite sure what the view of a female executive is, and people got to get comfortable with it. And the more of us that are in the position, the more people get comfortable. Also, I think the more we deliver results, the more that helps everybody.
Quickly, is that a chunk of the reason why Hillary Clinton's not president?
It's a piece of it, no doubt about it.
Nice to see you, Gina Raimondo. Thanks so much.